Good evening, Tallahassee, and welcome to FSU Weather Wednesday edition. It's our last week of shows here on FSU Weather, but we still have a lot to bring to you before the semester is over. So currently looking over Doak Campbell Stadium's 80 degrees and partly cloudy. That sun is just starting to go down. Hopefully it'll work out to be a beautiful sunset tonight to start off our Wednesday. Temperatures 80 degrees in Tallahassee, 79 in St. Mark's, a little bit cooler up north, 77 in Thomasville, and 75 in Apalachicola. Looks like a little bit of a sea breeze starting to come in there. So overall, some nice conditions for tonight, and our radar, clear skies. No rainfall, no cloud cover. So looking to be a really nice night to go out and enjoy your time outside. A lot different than we've seen the past few Wednesdays. We've had constant rainfall and severe weather that we've covered here on the show. But for the rest of tonight, low rain chances to start off finals week. Won't have to walk through the rain this time. Review of Texas weather in 2022 and the inauguration of our new Wednesday team leader. All this and more on FSU Weather.
Up next on FSU Weather, a high.
These conditions that Melissa was talking about earlier, it definitely is a little bit hot outside for me. It was a little chillier this morning, but then throughout the day we got into really warm temperatures and I was sweating on my way here.
I was sweating outside when I was walking around campus too, but the sun was kind of nice after all that rain we've had.
Absolutely, and it actually is going to be getting a little bit hotter. It's actually going to get into the 90s, believe it or not.
That's crazy. And that sun is going to be really intense. I think we need to look out for our UV.
Absolutely, so stay hydrated, wear your sunscreen, but for now, we'll be passing it right on off to the wall with Isabel.
Thanks, guys. As you've seen today, we've had a beautiful day. Outside Doak Campbell Stadium, we see a clear sky. There's a couple little clouds straggling in, but it's mainly very beautiful. It's 80 degrees. That's a lot nicer than the conditions that we saw earlier today. Looking at the radar, it almost looks like I didn't even push the play button because there is nothing going on throughout our area. So today we saw the temperature at 80 degrees and the low at 44. This is a huge difference, and that's due to the lack of clouds that we've seen in the atmosphere today. Thank God it was not 93 degrees. I was hot today and it was just 80. So right now we're sitting at that 80 degrees. It's pretty warm, but it's not as warm as we're going to be seeing in this weekend. We're going to reach almost 90 degrees this weekend. The dew points are a lot lower, 30 degrees lower than our temperatures, which means we won't be seeing a lot of mugginess in the area. That's why we've seen such clear conditions today. The current radar, we are seeing a little bit more precipitation, or not precipitation, but moisture in the air than we've seen in the last couple of days. After that front moved through, we are seeing a little bit more. And for tonight's forecast, we are sitting in the upper 50s. Not quite 60 yet, 57. The surrounding areas are a little bit warmer down here on the coast, but it's going to be pretty cool, a perfect day if you want to go for an evening stroll or something like that. And for tomorrow, we're going to be increasing a little bit more than we have today. It's going to be 83 degrees. And in surrounding areas around that, it's going to be a little bit cooler down here by the coast, but overall, it's going to be a very pleasant day tomorrow. Okay, and for tonight in Tally, as I said, it's going to be a little bit cooler at 58 degrees, partly cloudy. We're going to be seeing a little bit more moisture in the atmosphere and a little bit more clouds than we did earlier today, with some winds coming from the east at 8 miles an hour. Tomorrow, it's going to be partly cloudy and 83, as I just said. And looking at the week ahead, we're going to have a very hot weekend this weekend and a small chance of precipitation early next week. Now that you know the current weather, let's pass it on to the large Florida view. So looking at the rest of Florida, seeing much of the same thing. We have some clear skies across most of the state right now, maybe a few scattered showers popping up, but for the most part, it looks like this ground clutter on radar actually shaping up to be a very nice night out in Florida today. For Tallahassee, again, clear skies, nothing on radar to talk about. Definitely a night to take advantage of because, as I said earlier, The past few Wednesday shows, we have had a bit of severe weather coverage, a lot of severe weather coming through the middle of the week. So we're actually seeing really nice conditions as of right now. FSU's Lakefront Park at the Res, 74 degrees and mostly sunny. So if you want to head out there tonight and just enjoy that sunset as it begins to go down, you might want to head out now to catch it in time. Currently a little bit of a breeze coming through, so you may want to grab a jacket because those temperatures will drop down tonight, and they may get a little chilly if you're one of my native Floridians that we think 70s starts to get cold. But radar for the rest of the Panhandle area, again, much of the same thing. Clear skies, some ground clutter popping up to the east, but overall nice conditions across most of the state. Zooming into northern Florida, Ocala, Daytona Beach, Spring Hill, Orlando, Jacksonville, all clear. Again, take advantage of it. You might not know how long this will last. It's going to get into that summertime pattern. We're going to start having those storms. But right now it is beautiful out. But in Gainesville right now, 76 degrees and partly cloudy. Again, conditions though, partly cloudy, clear, blocking the sky if you plan on stargazing, but still some beautiful conditions. But what's going on in the rest of the state, Chandler?
Pretty quiet for most of the region, just like Melissa pointed out, but also for South Florida as well. We see some little bit of radar clutter off in the distant ocean, but for the most part, it's quite beautiful conditions set up. Again, get outside, enjoy the sun. We'll see this nice summer pattern start to continue until pretty much through next week at least. Those clouds are nice and partly cloudy, and we also have temperatures in the 80s. So again, nice and enjoyable beach weather if you are out there trying to get a tan on. Also, those winds are nice out of the east at 15 miles per hour, so pretty nice and comfortable conditions. As far as those current temperatures, again, North Florida sitting at a little bit of cooler conditions, but once you go towards South Florida, you're seeing warmer conditions set up at 81 in Key West. As far as those dew points, we have pretty muggy conditions down in South Florida, but not as muggy as you guys have seen in the past. Up in North Florida, we're pretty dry, but we'll see that pattern start to change here in a little bit. As far as tonight in Florida, well, again, we have those upper 50s to low 60s. Pensacola, you guys are sitting at 63 tonight, but then we have 73 down in Miami. So again, a wide array of temperatures, but overall pretty seasonable. As far as tomorrow, we'll see those temperatures start to really rise, and we'll see 80s across most of the region. 75 in Jacksonville is the only exception to that rule.
Thank you, Chandler. We are seeing beautiful springtime conditions across the southeast. We're looking at the mid-70s across the southeast with our cool spot in Virginia at 62. Very, very cloudy in Virginia, Kentucky, and Atlanta, but you can see Gainesville, our friends there, are not seeing too many clouds. Nice blue skies there across the board. So we're seeing, like I said, nice springtime conditions. Now for our current temperatures, we're currently at 79 in Tallahassee. Again, our cool spot is in Little Rock, Arkansas, 78 in Miami, 83 in Tampa, but nice weather across the board. Now for our dew points, we're seeing nice dry conditions in the Big Bend. That is because of that frontal system that just pushed through. We have that cooler, dry area behind that front. And even though those dew points aren't too close to those temperatures in Central and South Florida, we'll still see those moist conditions in Central and South Florida. Now, for our look at our radar, we're seeing some scattered storms push through, some showers push through the Big Bend, and as you can see, it's pretty quiet with the exception of those showers that we have up in Memphis and off of the Gulf, but we'll see that clear up into Thursday. And then for our rainfall forecast, we're going to see some showers push through over Memphis, some over North Georgia, but not too crazy, not too severe. We'll see some nice calm weather and not too many showers. Now for tonight, our temperatures are at 58 in Tallahassee, very cloudy across the southeast. We're going to see some temperatures in the 60s in Central Florida, 65 in Orlando, 66 in Tampa, and a nice warm 72 in Miami. And for our Thursday forecast, again, we're going to see nice springtime weather, 80s and the 70s. Our friends in Little Rock are actually going to warm up tomorrow at 82, but now I'm going to pass it off to the desk for a look at our North Texas weather. How's it looking in the Lone Star State, ladies?
The Lone Star State has actually had a very active weather season starting off 2022 with various things coming up, including tornadoes, fires. It's just been a really active time of year for them.
Yeah, honestly, I did not know much about the weather in Texas before a couple of minutes ago. So what have we been expecting for the next couple of...
So one of our main things has been that a winter storm came through
bringing ice and snow impacts into most of Texas. And that was on February 3rd. And then just over a month later, March 21st, a moderate risk of tornado outbreaks occurred with an EF3 and EF2 touchdown. 7 of them were EF2s. And that number is still yet to be investigated and possibly increase.
I did hear of several neighborhoods having to evacuate in early March of this year because of wildfires that were taking over the area.
That's right, and that took up 54,513 acres. That's absolutely crazy. But there's more information on that winter storm. Some areas in northern Texas saw up to 5 inches of snowfall and sleet accumulation, while thankfully only the southeastern part did see widespread of anywhere from 1 to 3 inches.
Yeah, I cannot imagine. I've barely ever seen 5 inches of snow in my life.
I haven't even seen any snow. I've been a Floridian girl. Every time I've gone up in the winter time, it's never snowed. So I can't imagine how much 5 inches of snow is, but I'm sure that made things quite difficult. But we also had tornadoes in March of 21st. If we can get that graphic to come up here, Chandler. If we can see the next graphic with those tornadoes. There we go. You see those tornadoes? We had 10 tornadoes in North Texas with one of them lower down, but there's 5 of those are currently being investigated for damage reports so that number could possibly go up.
Yeah, it's been a crazy month in Texas.
That's right, and we also had that fire, 54,000 acres, like that's insane. That's a lot of acreage, but thankfully evacuation order did get put out.
And that's why it is so important, our job as meteorologists, is to be able to get that information out to the public so they can know and anticipate these watches and warnings before it's actually affecting their homes.
Absolutely. If you have any reports of damage that haven't been documented by National Weather Service, you can go onto their social media or reach out to them by email and get report that damage to them, and they can investigate it and get a more accurate depiction of what these weather events actually look like. There's that East Complex fire right there. The passage of a cold front, as we know, cold fronts bring through dry air and windy conditions, low dew points, all key for starting fires.
We're not even sure how much damage has actually been done in the area. They're still trying to survey that and get a good idea of all of those damages that have been done to that area.
Absolutely. So it is important that if you have any information, give it to your National Weather Service. It's always good for us to have more accurate documentation of these events that have occurred, because then it helps us better predict for the future.
I don't think a lot of people realize how much severe fires do impact the climate of an area. A lot of people don't think of fire as anything related to climate and weather, but it has a very important role in our daily life and studies.
Absolutely. We even had wildfires here in Florida, so a lot of the nation has also been impacted by these conditions this year, and it definitely can cause a lot of damage. It's just a very detrimental thing for both the environment and people, and it's definitely important to heed all evacuation orders when you get them. Don't wait, don't delay. As you get them, react to them, because that's going to help save your life and your property. But now we're going to pass things over to Chandler at the wall.
That's right, and if you're going to get more of Texas, well, we have more of Texas. We're going to talk a little bit about those current conditions here in Dallas-Fort Worth. Right now, temperatures are right around that 90-degree mark with light clouds and winds coming out of the south at 23 miles an hour. It's pretty breezy for this time of year, but of course, that is ahead of this dry line that we're pushing through, shifting those winds to be more out from the west shortly. But for now, it's strong southerly flow, bringing in those warm temperatures. Right now, 91, that was really close to our record of 94, and our low was 65, which is way far away from our 40-degree temperature that we saw record low in 1953. But our average for this time of year is usually 56, so we are 10 degrees almost above that, and we are definitely way above the average high for this time of year. And of course, all this makes a lot of sense because we have that southerly flow bringing in those warm temperatures. Those current temperatures, of course, all across the region, we're seeing a lot of 80s and 90s and a decent amount of these wind symbols that are saying, hey, it's a little gusty out. We also have a decent amount of sunshine all across our western viewing area. Jacksboro, you guys are at 96, pretty warm temperature, of course, for this time of year. You guys probably don't expect that until a little bit later on into June, but of course, it is unseasonably warm ahead of this cold front, but once the cold front comes through, we'll see those conditions start to relax a little bit. But right now, oof, it's pretty warm. those current dew points. It's also pretty moist. But hey, let's play a game of spotting the dry line. We have this dry line set up across Mineral Wells in Jacksboro. Again, this is going to give you guys a little bit of a relief, make those 96 temperatures feel like 96 instead of 100. But again, it's pretty muggy conditions for most of the viewing area. That radar, we have those clouds that are making their way eastward. We'll also have this dry line that's pushing through, but you really can't see that on radar. But as we get closer to tonight, we'll start to see a little bit more cloud coverage start to pick up and wane off. Of course, this will all lead to a bit of a change in your weather pattern. Overall, just looking at the clouds, we're really seeing quite a clearing out throughout most of the viewing area, all the way up through Oklahoma City and Dallas. And that future radar, again, a few little showers that we could expect and a few more clouds, but again, we have that southerly flow that's pushing through, but we start to see that front start to make its way westward, or towards the east. Again, a bit of a clearing out as we head into tomorrow. But tonight, again, those temperatures are going to be very warm for this time of year, sitting up into the 60s. So pretty uncomfortable, but of course, that's to be expected with all this cloud coverage that's going to be basically just making your guys' night not so great if you're trying to go stargaze. But again, it's pretty warm out. And tonight, 69, again, like I said, those winds will be quite gusty at 17 miles an hour. And then for the next 3 days, we'll start to see a little bit of a cooling pattern, but not much relief. We'll have some clouds making their way through tomorrow and into Friday, and again, some more windy conditions on Saturday.
Yeah, thank you, Chandler. That was a really interesting look at the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and those warm temperatures are something that's really impacting our area too. Certainly something that's impacting much of the southeast as we start to transition towards those summer months. But as a live look at our national radar, we've got a little bit of some storm coverage over here by St. Louis, but really much of the nation is quite clear, especially our viewing area here down in the southeast. As for most of the nation, it is rather clear, so certainly something we like to see, especially in spring, as it is severe weather season. And if we can move on to our graphics, we can continue the show. But right now it is a little bit frozen, so we're going to continue talking about these national. Once again, there's a little bit of a severe weather threat here in the middle of Oklahoma here. We'll be watching that as that develops throughout the day, but there's certainly a hail and tornado risk here in central Oklahoma that we're seeing here. Hopefully that doesn't verify as well as we would. There we go. Now we're getting a look at those temperatures. So once again, really hot here in Texas, 90 degrees here as our high point across the map. Really warm down here in southeast, going to be warming up in the next couple of days, but across the nation, really quite mild, certainly nothing too crazy. Once again, like what Chandler was saying, we can spot this dry line here, reaching out into central and Texas and Oklahoma here, really defining, might help fire up those storms in Oklahoma as we go into the next couple of hours. Here's a look at those upper level winds. We're seeing a lot of convergence here in the middle of the U.S. Certainly will help fire up those storms that I was talking about, but as for much of the rest of the U.S., not too bad. And as for our surface analysis here, we can see that dry line here. Here's that triple point. Right here is where we're going to be looking for those storm developments if they do fire off today. Certainly we'll be watching out, and hopefully our friends over in Oklahoma don't get it too bad today. As for water vapor, once again, we've got a big trough here digging in, low pressure system up here pushing across the nation. There's a little bit of some cloudy conditions pushing into our viewing area as we go into the next couple of hours, but really not too bad across the nation. As for watches and warnings, we do have some fire weather warnings out here in the New Mexico, Arizona, and Texas area here. So certainly if you're out there, make sure not to burn anything as it is quite dry and quite windy. Certainly not good weather for burning. So don't want to cause any wildfires here. Up in the northeast, we are seeing a lot of rain here impacting Seattle, a bit of a low pressure, a little bit of spin off of the coast here in Seattle. Certainly nothing they're not used to. Seattle is a very rainy city, but yeah, we've got moisture spreading across the region here in the northeast. I'm sorry, northwest, I'm very sorry. And as we go towards the Midwest radar, we're seeing another low pressure system start to push across Minnesota and Wisconsin. A little bit of some winter weather up here at the top of Wisconsin, so certainly if you're up there, make sure you are aware of that weather that is impacting you. And as we zoom in here on the Pennsylvania, Ohio area, a little bit of some rain pushing in here near the Great Lakes and Cleveland, but across the region, really mostly clear, not too bad, and that rain is quite light and moderate. And as we look at our Tennessee and Alabama radar, we are seeing a bit of some storm systems moving into the northern Mississippi area. Some lightning with these storms, so if you are here, make sure you stay indoors. Once again, if thunder roars, go indoors. And as for the Lone Star radar, of course we have that today. There is nothing across the state. It is hot and it is dry here in Texas, so I guess it's better than severe weather here. And as for tonight across the nation, we are seeing really quite chilly temperatures up here in the north by North Dakota, Montana, 37 up here in Billings. That's our cold point. But as we go down towards Texas, not even going to get into the 60s tonight. 70 degrees is our low point in San Antonio. 57 down here in Tallahassee in our viewing area. A little bit more cooler down here up in the northeast, 49 in Boston. But really quite mild temperatures across the nation is what we're seeing. As for tomorrow, things are going to be hot again for much of the south, especially that Texas-Oklahoma area. 87 degrees is our Dallas-Fort Worth high point. I'm sorry, 89 degrees in San Antonio, 83 here in Tallahassee, but really quite warm temperature for the south. That's the story of the day. A little bit cooler up here in the north, but really nothing too bad for this time of year. But as of now, I'm going to pass things off to Wanique.
Thank you so much, Ian. We're going to take a look at our areas in Tallahassee. Again, it is beautiful right now in Tallahassee. We're looking at our Sportsplex right now. Nice clear skies. Panama City is a little cloudy with that sun peeking through. Lake Bradford, very, very beautiful conditions. So if you're out on the lake, these are great lake conditions, as well as if you are going to St. George Island, clear skies. Not too choppy, so again, if you're going to go out in the water, now is the time to do it because those conditions are very, very perfect to be out. It's gorgeous right now at Doak Campbell Stadium. Nice clear skies again. That sun's peeking through. I'm sure you noticed this morning. We had some chilly weather, and thankfully it has warmed up throughout the day. We're currently sitting at a nice 80 degrees with some gusty winds coming in from the southeast at 13 miles per hour, and it's partly cloudy, but again, it's not too bad. It's pretty sunny and really, really nice for that springtime weather. Now for those airport delays, we're seeing no delays right now, perfect in Tallahassee for flying, so if you're going to take some last minute trips pre-finals to clear your head, it would be great to do that tomorrow. Temperatures are in the 80s, no delays like I mentioned, cloudy at the Tallahassee airport. And for our dog walk forecast, we're going to take a look at that with my friend Caitlin. How's it looking for those pups, Caitlin?
I think the pups are going to be super happy about it. We're going to be sitting around 60 degrees, 59. It says around 7 a.m. for your early risers. But as you go down, it'll be in the 70s around 11 a.m. The pups are going to enjoy the sun and the cloud, and it's going to be clear and nice conditions. And then if you are a stargazer, we're going to have great conditions tonight with lots of stars, not very many clouds in the sky, so we're going to be able to see a lot of what we want to see. If you want to see like shooting stars or anything, I don't know do much stargazing in my time, but we have really good conditions for tonight. And I don't know if any of you guys are going to go watch the baseball game, but FSU is playing TCU. It's going to be 85, mostly sunny, so it will be warm. So do wear sunblock if you do go, because the UV is probably going to be high, the sun will be out, and do stay really hydrated as you go too, because we will have warm, sunny conditions. And then just looking at your school week planner, you will have 83 tomorrow, 86 on Friday. We will warm up on the weekend, and that's going to be really nice if you want to go to the pool or to the beach before finals and get a nice little break in before all of that studying and that cramming you're going to do. But we're going to have sunny skies with really low rain chances, so it's going to be beautiful before finals, which is going to be amazing. But I'm going to pass things off to Genevieve for our local.
Thank you, Caitlin, and thank you, Wanique, for that gorgeous lifestyle view. I'm going to pass it on over back to Tallahassee, back to our home. If I could get the first, there it is. Beautiful, beautiful sun coming out of Doak Campbell Stadium. Here we have that sun peeking through. Sky is covered in quite a bit of clouds, but that's totally okay because we do have the sun after all. It is 80 degrees and partly cloudy, and it's slightly gusty with the winds coming out of the southeast at 13 miles per hour. Our radar for Tallahassee shows no form of precipitation, actually. I don't foresee any rain coming through the area anytime soon, which is fortunate, as the last couple days we have had some nice bits of rain. I say nice because I spent some nice cozy nights inside doing homework, as I imagine a lot of us students were. Our current temperatures for the Tallahassee area show a warm 80 degrees here in Tallahassee, quite warm in the area. We're going upper 70s to 80 here in Tallahassee, but generally 70s for the region. Our current dew points are showing 50 in Tallahassee, slightly muggy. They were lower earlier in the week as that low pressure system graced our area, but it is muggier in the 50s with our dew point. Our future radar is showing, of course, no precipitation, but clouds. There's lots of wind going towards the west, but overall, just a lot of clouds. For tonight's forecast, we have the low of 57 here in Tallahassee, so pretty nice conditions overall. It does get slightly warmer down by the coast at Apalachicola with 62 degrees, but overall upper 50s to low 60s for the Tallahassee region. For the highs for tomorrow, we have a warm 83, so please make sure you're staying hydrated, you're getting out of the sun, you're putting that sunscreen on. If you're down by the coast, similar situation, but just a little bit better. For our dog walk forecast, we have a beautiful pup here, so cute on the carpet. At 7 a.m., it'll be nice conditions for you to walk your dog at 59 degrees. 9 a.m., it'll be 64, and it just gets warmer throughout the day. For tonight in Tally, we are seeing 58 degrees and partly cloudy. The winds are coming out of the east at 8 miles per hour. A pretty nice night overall compared to the warm day that we were having. For tomorrow, we're looking at 83 degrees, like I said earlier, partly cloudy. Winds are coming out of the east at 8 miles per hour. Very, very warm, so make sure you're getting that air conditioning in. And looking at the week ahead, we have low to upper 80s all throughout the week. And as I move, we're flirting with the 90s over here on Monday and Tuesday of next week. We actually have 89 degrees, but overall the lows are getting into the upper 50s to low 60s, which is actually somewhat nice, but overall pretty warm. And now I'm going to pass it off to the lovely desk with Ian and Robert for the passing of the clipboard.
Thank you, Genevieve. And that ends our final segment of the final edition of the 2021-2022 Wednesday show, and also my final time here as your team leader. So I'd like to say a quick thank you to everyone who is involved with the show and every single day. No matter if it was a 2-person show or a 7-person show, you are valuable to the FSU Weather team. You are the lifeblood, and you are the reason these shows even get produced. So quick thank you, and also thank you for helping or letting me have the honor of serving as your team leader this year. So without further ado, I'm going to do something that Evan did to me last year. It is at this time, this last day last year is when I got the clipboard passed to me. It is our official tradition of passing the team leadership. And what this means is that we're passing the responsibilities and the tradition of the team leader, but also it's representing change. And change is important for FSU Weather because, like the broadcast industry, change is necessary. Though some of us who are older here might like things to stay the same, it's important for change to happen and for the next team leaders to make their own mark on the show and do it in the way that they can. So without further ado, I'm going to pass the clipboard and officially retire as your Wednesday team leader for 2021-2022.
Well, it is an honor, Robert. It has been a pleasure serving under you. I hope I can be half the team leader that you've been. Just seeing how you work, how you manage under stress, especially today and some other shows, it's really quite unbelievable. I've learned pretty much everything I know about weathercasting from you, so I really do appreciate it. I cannot wait until next year. I will see you guys every Wednesday here at FSU Weather. I'm Ian Muchler, and I'm your new team leader.
And I, Robert Zott, will pass things back off to the wall for one more 7-day.
Yes, guys, we are going to have a nice, beautiful 7 days, sun outside, 83 tomorrow, and we're going to be sitting in the 80s as we go on to the next couple of days. We'll be hitting 87 on Saturday and Sunday, and as we look into next week, we are hitting 89, possibly in the 90s.